Friends, Convocation June 2022 is about to begin. For all of our guests in Convocation Mall, please listen closely to a few important announcements for your enjoyment and safety during the ceremony. During the ceremony, guests should remain seated and keep the aisleways clear. This is required by fire regulation. In the case of an emergency evacuation, follow the directions of event personnel to the assembly point, which is located down the stairs behind you on the track and field outside the gym. Please proceed slowly and carefully. Those with accessibility needs should proceed to the Halpern Center located northeast of Convocation Mall. There is a water station outside of Maggie Benston Center, which is on your right. Reusable water bottles are available for purchase at the Spirit Shop in the Diamond Family Auditorium, which is on your right if you forgot yours. SFU blankets and other gifts and mementos are available for purchase from the SFU Spirit Shop in the Diamond Family Auditorium, which is on your right. In consideration of other guests, we ask that you refrain from conversation during the ceremony and please put cell phones on silent. For those near and afar, we encourage you to share your photos and messages on social media using #MySFUgrad. If you're able, please rise for the academic procession.
Following shit, who's chit wa ATT, chait to suck whiten, nace was nantat, the name is Schotmishal Stalmoch, to sna, chait to tewa to milk. Anmin hat squallowing shit, the name is Tuchnam to Noyab, wa a sap a tewa squile. A chopped lack, chopped sail, tes sakes tes kulautuch. Yuanman hot squallowing shit, name is Amen. What taltnach what tes nachum shit, tewa, SFU. The name is Schotmish, tes Schotmish ol snachum. Yuan men hat squallow chit qui slolum chit, quitsi slolum. Tas chat salanoch sit yam. Wa e sod neil tas slolums qui se son chit, natas nachwech. Timat te qui se ya il chit, e te tewa. Te me tsot chop, te me chot chop, elk to noya. Yuan men hat squallow chit. Oh, say I want to thank each and every one of you and welcome you here to a place close by, is a place we would call Suksokwighton. Our people, the Squamish people would call it Suksokwighton because there used to be lots of arbutus trees here. The ones you see here standing before you, we're so grateful to be here with each and every one of you. I want to congratulate you, graduates, for reaching the end of your journey here with your school. The end for now, anyway. Asap, chop asap, you've reached the end of your school journey, and want to raise our hands to you for all the hard work you've done to get to where you are now. We're all, in some way, connected to SFU, the ones here singing, through the Squamish Language Immersion Program. So we have so much gratitude to SFU for being a big helping hand for the revival of the Squamish Snatchum. All of us here at one point or another were and are, we have 3 students here who are currently taking the Squamish Language Immersion Program. So we're so grateful to be here, to be able to come and be here on this day with you. Thank each and every one of you, and again, congratulations on your special day. Osiam.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to my Squamish family for bringing a good medicine to the ceremony, to the President and to the Chancellor, and to all the family here. It's such a great honor to have my people recognized in doing ceremonies. It's been a long time. And to have so many of our children graduating and so many other younger children, it makes me feel so good to be here. Just a quick prayer and we'll get this event going. Great Spirit, thank you for bringing us together. Thanking our communities for allowing your children to be with us. I ask, Great Spirit, just a very special blessing on each and every one present here, especially the people who can't be here with us and our young children, all my relations.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and graduates, please be seated. Thank you so much for sharing that warm welcome, Elder Margaret. Elder Margaret is a member of the SFU Elders Program. I'd also like to take a moment to pay my respects to elders past and present. Thank you also to the cultural representatives of the Squamish Nation. Who drummed and welcomed us in so beautifully, and of course, to the members of the world-famous SFU Pipe Band for opening the ceremony in a good way. It's an honor to be here today on the traditional unceded and continuously occupied territories of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Coquitlam peoples. As a native English speaker, I speak Indigenous languages that were outlawed and became endangered as successive governments prohibited their use. I speak these languages today to contribute to the revival and to enhance our collective learning. In the shared territory on which our university sits, there are 2 Indigenous languages that were historically spoken. I recognize the Hunkaminam and the Squamish-speaking peoples have been in relationship with this land since time immemorial, and the place names they use are linked to activities or the surrounding environments. We're privileged to gather here in what's known today in English as Burnaby Mountain, but as you heard from our Squamish representatives, was first known as Tlakwakwetan by the Squamish people, which means where the arbutus bark gets peeled in the spring. And Sawtooth is the Tsleil-Waututh place name for Burnaby Mountain. The motifs on the regalia that President Johnson and I are wearing today were selected by Squamish Hereditary Chief Janice George and Willie Butter Joseph. The motifs represent First Peoples and the food harvested at Burnaby Mountain. We're both deeply honored to wear these regalia as SFU and indeed our country continue on our collective path towards reconciliation. I'd now like to invite John V. Indatissa, who is a fourth-year student in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences and a current member of the SFU choir, to lead us in the singing of O Canada. For those of you in the Convocation Mall and online, please join us in Rise if you are able. Please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. I now declare Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Madam President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands, and friends, my name is Tamara Vrooman, and I am the Chancellor of Simon Fraser University. We are delighted and honored to have you join us for the Convocation. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge Alan Twigg, who will be conferred an honorary doctorate of letters this morning. Alan. Our SFU alumni, legacy parents and families, and of course, I'd like to extend a special welcome to all of you here in Convocation Mall and those online. For those watching online, please let us know where you're joining us from by indicating it in the chat. Honored guests, President Johnson, it's so wonderful to see all of your smiling faces here together again. After the past 2 years, I don't think I'll ever again tire of seeing people faces beaming in an audience gathered together. And to the graduates, well, you did it. You must be so proud of your accomplishments. I know I am. And frankly, I'm also inspired. This has been a very challenging time in which to study, to graduate, and especially to plan for the future. But today, I don't want to dwell on what you had to endure to get here. Let's just say the world threw more than a few obstacles in your way. But you persevered. And now, after years of hard work, you join a long line of SFU graduates who have helped shape this university and, in fact, the wider world. We owe you and all of those who helped you along the way a debt of gratitude. When I was in university, I majored in history. I loved it. It really helped me to make sense of things, why things were the way they were, or frankly, why they weren't. I was tremendously inspired by the hard work, creativity, and compassion of the people and the times that I studied. I was inspired by their example of what it really takes to succeed. It motivated me to think of my own role in creating a better future for myself, for my family, for my business, for my community, and indeed my country. Back then, I won't tell you exactly how long back, but suffice to say it was about 3 decades ago, BC was a very different place. Almost 1 million fewer people lived in Greater Vancouver. The last residential school had only been closed for a few years. Same-sex couples were not allowed civil unions, much less a marriage license. There wasn't, and had never been to that point, a Chinese-Canadian member of BC's legislature. The Vancouver Club had just started admitting women. It's hard to believe. And the Canucks hadn't yet become a Stanley Cup dynasty. Oh, wait, maybe that hasn't changed. Poor Canucks. My point is simple. At times, the world can look pretty messed up. Sometimes, the challenges of the present can feel so daunting, it makes it difficult to imagine a clear path to a better and brighter future. But I want to reassure you, this is not a new feeling. I know from my studies that at many times throughout history, other generations have felt the same way. And yet, they persevered and gave us many of the things that we owe a debt of gratitude today. And also, when you put it in historical perspective, there's a lot to celebrate. And you, the class of 2022, reflect so much about what is changing for the better. You're probably the most diverse, engaged, and connected SFU graduates in our history. Simon Fraser University is a more inclusive, more sustainable, and more innovative university because of you. You pushed us to confront the biggest challenges of our time, from climate change to the legacy of colonialism. You fought for better mental health care, more housing, and improved public transit. Generations of students will have you to thank for shortening their commute times on Burnaby Mountain thanks to the gondola. You helped build new businesses and bring new ideas to market. And you created astounding, beautiful, and important works of art, poetry, and literature. You joined in a battle against a pandemic to help protect public health, whether through co-ops, volunteer work, or by looking out for those around you. And most importantly, you participated in an academic community committed to open inquiry and the free exchange of ideas. At a time of disinformation and increased polarization, the values you learned and applied here surely must endure. Graduands, you wrote your chapter in SFU's history. And I'm here to tell you today, I'm confident it was a very good one. And now you'll go on to write new ones. Looking out at all of you, I have enormous confidence in you and in our future. Your generation will do great things. And as you do so, I want you to know that you will always belong to the ever-growing SFU family, made up of people from all walks of life and every part of the world, connected together by this extraordinary institution. So as you leave the ceremony today to celebrate your achievement, know that you are always welcome back here at SFU. So on behalf of everyone at our university, faculty, staff, alumni, fellow students, and supporters, let me conclude by offering our heartfelt congratulations. Well done. It's now my privilege to call upon the president of our university, Dr. Joy Johnson, to give her address. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. It is a privilege to stand before you today on the unceded traditional territories of the Squamish, the Tsleil-Waututh, the Coquitlam, and the Musqueam peoples. As a settler on these lands, I recognize a responsibility to address and repair relations with the Indigenous peoples whose lands we occupy. And acknowledging this is an important step towards reconciliation. I want to begin by welcoming all of the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, and loved ones who have joined us today. And I'd like to extend a big welcome to the Graduands who are here today and extend my best wishes to those who couldn't join us. You are just incredible. Your spirit, your resilience, your dogged determination has reminded us all once again why we do this work and why education and knowledge matter so much to our lives and to our world. I'm grateful to Chancellor Vrooman for giving us some historical perspective today. And she's right. We have come a long way. And at the same time, we have many challenges still to face. An ongoing global pandemic, racial injustice, democracy threatened in Ukraine and around the world, and yet, here we are, grateful to gather together in person. Grateful to celebrate the SFU community and each person who is a part of it. It's a tribute to the power of education to change lives and build community. At university, we work hard, very hard, to earn a credential. It's an enormous personal accomplishment. You should be very proud. And I trust what you have studied at SFU will help you find successful and fulfilling careers. All of the evidence suggests that it will. What you have learned at university is in high demand right across our economy. But as important as that is, and it is very important, I also hope for something more. I hope that your time here has nurtured within you a sense of belonging, of common purpose, of community. Just think about it. When you applied to SFU, you did so on your own, at your computer, one individual among many thousands hoping to get accepted. Today, you graduate from SFU in communion with many of those same people, fellow graduates with a shared experience and with the tools you need to play a part in healing, repairing, and engaging the world. Over my life as a researcher, a teacher, and a university administrator, I have seen this awakening time and time again. Never more so, though, in these last 2 years of real hardship and sacrifice. Never more so than here at SFU. Let me give you an example. Last month, we had our welcome back ceremonies for graduates who attended Convocation online due to COVID-19. On May 5th, I shook hands of hundreds of grads as they finally crossed the stage in person. I stood up on stage and gave an address, just like I'm doing today. And at the same time, in the Student Union building, just over there, members of our SFU Indigenous Student Center, SFU First Nations Métis and Inuit Student Association had a table set up to share information and resources around the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two-Spirit people. I felt so privileged that on that day in which we were celebrating the work of our graduates who are doing incredible things around the world, I was also able to witness SFU students doing this important healing and educational work for and within the SFU community. I want to take a moment to say thank you to our Indigenous Student Center and to our First Nations, Métis, and Inuit Student Association for their work supporting Indigenous students at SFU. Of course, that's only one example among many. I am inspired by the many projects submitted by students to the SFU Community Engagement Competition. Projects like Art for Comfort, which brings people together to create a virtual quilt that will hold communities' memories, hopes, and dreams. And the BC Newcomer Camp, which aims to provide free educational programs to help refugees adjust to their new homes. I'm inspired by the countless acts of kindness and empathy that I see in our community each day, by the work of SFU staff and faculty who are so dedicated to creating a vibrant student learning experience. To put it simply, seeing all of you today, seeing the impact that you have made in our community, and knowing the impact that you're going to make in the world, that makes our challenges feel very small. It gives me hope. It inspires me like nothing else. So, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of everyone here at SFU, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much, President Johnson. SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor conferred by our university. Degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of their exceptional contributions to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Their achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration. They are role models to our students, graduates, alumni, and broader community. The honorary degree will now be conferred. To present the honorary degree candidate, Mr. Alan Twigg, I am pleased to welcome Ms. Gwen Bird. Gwen Bird has been University Librarian and Dean of Libraries at SFU since 2014. She is Chair of the Scholars and Scholarship Committee at the Association of Research Libraries, Co-Chair of the Coalition Publica Steering Committee, and a past member of the boards of the Canadian Research Knowledge Network and the Canadian Association of Research Libraries. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Bird.
Madam Chancellor, I present to you a champion of our province's literary world, Alan Twigg, who has made an immense contribution to the promotion of BC literature and authors. A fifth-generation British Columbian, Mr. Twigg dropped out of SFU with high marks after 2 semesters in order to concentrate on writing, while working as a garbage truck driver in the early 70s. As a man of free intelligence, he proceeded to write and publish his own free and widely read newspaper, BC Book World, in 1987, and its later online companion publications, BC Book Look and ABC Book World. That latter, initially hosted by SFU Library, is for and about more than 12,500 BC authors. Mr. Twigg has also created or co-created most of the province's major literary awards, such as the BC Book Prizes and the George Woodcock Lifetime Achievement Award. All his creations continue to flourish. In his spare time, he has written 20 books, including his latest title, Out of Hiding: Holocaust Literature of British Columbia. He also produced 10 documentaries and made websites for 4 friends: Leonard Cohen, World War II hero Rudolf Verba, an African priest in Tanzania, and the great Vancouver humanitarian Joseph Wask. A keen promoter of literary diversity since 1987, he built the Indigenous literary map of British Columbia, highlighting the work of more than 200 Indigenous authors. Mr. Twigg was on the founding board of SFU's Canadian Centre for Studies in Publishing and served as a Shadbolt Fellow at SFU in 2007. He is a member of the Order of Canada and received the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Literary Excellence. And lest we think him rather too bookish, I'll mention that he also won a gold medal for Canada in over 50s soccer at the World Masters Games in Turin, Italy in 2013. Madam Chancellor, Alan Twigg has been a champion of BC culture for more than 5 decades. He has buoyed an entire industry and helped to elevate and celebrate the soul of our province. For his many accomplishments, I ask that you now confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
It's all right. We'll shake your hand first, if you like, and then you stand right there as I confer the Alan Twigg, by virtue of the authority vested in me and the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations. Alan Twigg will be hooded by Dr. Elizabeth Ellie, Vice Provost and Associate Vice President, Learning and Teaching, and Mr. Tom Nault, University Registrar and Executive Director, Student Enrollment. Congratulations, Dr. Twigg.
It is with pleasure that I now call on Dr. Alan Twigg to deliver the Convocation address. Dr. Twigg. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very privileged to be here, and I want to first of all congratulate the graduates, of course, the Graduands, and also all of their supporters. Maybe you could have done it without them, but it wouldn't be nearly as meaningful. And so I'm very happy for all of you today. I've been accorded 5 minutes to try and find something to say to you that you can remember for the rest of your lives. So let's get the party started. Winston Churchill, the story goes, once gave a very memorable speech at Harrow School. He came up to the microphone and he said, "Never, never, never give up." And then he went and sat down. I think they have laws against plagiarism around here, so I guess I have to keep going. But one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever received was from a man named Rudy Vrooman, who was just mentioned. He was the first of 2 people to escape from Auschwitz-Birkenau, and he wrote a report that was so good. The Allies couldn't pretend they didn't know what was happening in the Holocaust. And Rudy was a great man. And he said to me once, "You know, Alan, whenever there's a problem, just stop and say something to yourself. Say, is this going to be a problem for me a year from now? And you'll find out that 90% of your problems go away." It's excellent advice, and that may be the one thing you can take away with you and use it for the rest of your life. I brought with me today my signed first edition of George Orwell's Animal Farm. It was given to me by his friend, George Woodcock, who is a mentor of mine. And so I have shaken the hand of a man who has shaken the hand and drunken many pints with George Orwell. And both those men were people who wanted to be men of free intelligence. And both those 2 Georges have influenced me a great deal. And I have strived in my life to be a person of free intelligence. And my friends, I can tell you that can sometimes be a very rocky road. For about 40 years, I learned as much as possible about BC literature, more than anybody else, and I also did more to support BC literature than anyone else, but I always spoke my mind. And I never heard from a single BC English department, a single writers' festival, a single creative writing department. And when I decided to stop doing BC Book World because I wanted to do more books in the 10 years or so I've got left, I never heard from the Association of Book Publishers of BC that I had supported, for 30, 40 years. And that's okay, because I was always being used to being an outsider. And if you want to be a person of free intelligence, it comes at a cost. If you want to speak the truth whenever you have something to say, they talk about the real estate values are high in Vancouver, but I can tell you there's a price to be paid for living in Sherwood Forest. And that's okay. And so now for Simon Fraser University to recognize that all this stuff I've done actually might amount to more than a hill of beans is a very interesting moment for me. I don't think it proves at all that I am a good person. But what it does actually prove is that this is an exceptional university. That was a serious comment, folks. Okay, so anyway, this leads me to the most important thing I can have to say in my last remaining 2.5 minutes. Right now, I believe we're living next door to a crumbling and self-delusionary empire. And the fallout is going to be considerable. Meanwhile, we in Canada have amazing liberal values, and we are by far one of the best places on the planet in which to live. So today, I ask you to look beyond all the things that you continuously want to find wrong with Canada and recognize for a moment what is good and right. The right to abortion, daycare, quality education. This is the place that gave the world Greenpeace, Terry Fox, David Suzuki, Dr. Bonnie Henry. This is a fabulous place to live. In 2001, in 2001, I had a very major brain surgery. It was done at Vancouver General Hospital by one of the world's foremost neurosurgeons, and obviously worked out okay. And the overall cost for that was about $170, including parking. So, when I go and get my taxes done every year, I go to the tax preparer, and I'm the only person, she says, who always comes in and says, you know what? I like paying taxes. I enjoy paying taxes. Now, this is what I've learned, and this is what I want to share with you today. The United States obviously is not Russia, and Canada is certainly not Ukraine. But there is conflict afoot, and we have a great deal here that is worth fighting for, and we may have to fight for it. With the excellent education that you have just received from Simon Fraser University, I hope you can now feel emboldened to stand on guard for one of the world's most successful and oldest democracies. And we're going to have to make sure we keep what we've got. My 5 minutes are up. Your next 50 years are going to start right now. So, never, never, never give up your free intelligence. You can make a difference, and I know you will make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Twigg, for your inspiring speech and reminding us to repeat after me, never, never, never give up. Never, never, never give up. We will remember this speech, I think, all of us, so thank you. You're now part of our alumni. And as part of Convocation, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to graduates after they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we are so pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch you on your new role as alumni of SFU. Ms. Claire Wilson received a Bachelor of Arts in Women's Studies and History in 2013, as well as a Master of Arts degree in Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies in 2021. She is also currently the Secretary of the SFU Alumni Association Board. I invite Claire to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduates. Claire.
Thank you, President Johnson. Good morning to SFU's newest alumni. Today, your relationship with SFU evolves. You are officially lifetime members of SFU's alumni community, a community of change makers, problem solvers, leaders, collaborators, and industrious alumni around the globe. Wherever you go, SFU alumni will be cheering you on. Staying connected to SFU provides you with opportunities to learn, grow, and thrive through local, national, and international events, career resources, library services, and many other value-added benefits. As alumni, you now serve as ambassadors for SFU in your communities. Through your journey, you will inspire current and future students to dream, to strive for excellence, and to make their own mark on the world. Please stay connected to SFU alumni. We want to hear from you and have the chance to celebrate in your successes. As you cross the stage today and receive your alumni pin, be proud of your accomplishments and everything it took to be in this moment. Thank you all for investing your time, energy, and talents in this great university. I hope that you can join us at the faculty and alumni celebration reception that follows today's ceremony up by the AQ Pond. Congratulations and welcome to SFU's global community of alumni.
Thank you very much, Claire. Before graduates are presented individually to the Chancellor, Mr. Matthew Provost, a member of the graduating class, will provide the graduation address. Matthew Provost is from the Piikani Nation Blackfoot Confederacy. At SFU, he worked with Indigenous community members and the SFU community to further reconciliation efforts and prioritize Indigenous students. Matthew was twice elected as Vice President of the Simon Fraser Student Society. He plans to work with Indigenous communities and create Indigenous-focused art. I am personally grateful to you, Matthew, for what you have taught me, and I'm now pleased to call upon Mr. Provost.
Is everybody able to hear me? I'm too used to Zoom. Oki nadanako natsi kapamadosin namohto do siksigate sitabi bigani gaina siksiga gitsiksi matsitsi masquium sohomish slewitus kaquitlum katesi. Hello and good morning, everybody. My name is Matthew Provost. My nitsit boas and my Blackfoot name is Two Smudge, which was given to me by the late Louise Cropbeard Wolf from Gaina Blood Tribe. I'm from Blackfoot Territory, Piikani Nation, which is located in Treaty 7 territory. That's in southern Alberta. I'm a visitor on these territories, and I'm thankful to be able to be here today with all of you. I feel overwhelmingly honored to have been asked to share with you my experience and congratulate my peers here this morning. I want to acknowledge that I am on the unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, and the place name for Burnaby Mountain is Tlaktlakwaihwaitin, which means where bark is peeled in the spring. As I acknowledge this, I want this also to be a reminder that these place names in the Squamish language have been here since time immemorial. This is longer than SFU, in the city of Burnaby as well, and we need to be cognizant of our privilege by having the opportunity to take up space here as guests and as settlers, especially on these territories. And I ask you to be mindful of the spaces that you occupy and how important it is to center Indigenous voices, solidarity, and communities while we are here due to the impacts of colonialism, dispossession, and the ongoing violence against Indigenous peoples. I want to say thank you to Elder Margaret for opening up this morning and the singers from the host nations who welcomed us here this morning. And also thank you to the Chancellor, the President, as well as other dignitaries who are here with us. As a young person at the Idask Sinimatstochgyop at the university, we are privileged to have had the opportunity to have completed our academic journeys for this chapter in our stories. When I received my acceptance letter to SFU, I never thought that I would be standing here today in front of all of you. And it is a privilege to be able to stand here amongst my family and my friends, my partner and peers in celebration, but also to acknowledge the work we have all done in committing ourselves to our academic journeys. All of us as students have sacrificed a lot in order to be here today. We have given up time with our loved ones. We have moved across the province, the country, and even across the globe to commit to our education. As students, we live precarious lives. Being a student not only means you are focusing on your studies, but you are also volunteering, you're working, taking care of family, as well as yourself. And many of us even take on greater responsibilities in our communities that sometimes goes unrecognized. So I'm here to let you know that there's many people who are here today with you who do see that. And as students, we have had such a unique experience, especially during the time that we have been at SFU up until this point. We've endured such precarity in our situations that has impacted our learning experiences, such as a pandemic, remote learning, and then moving back into in-person, and then kind of like, I don't know what's happening. Do I have to go to class or do I go on Zoom? And having, one thing that I wanted to note is having to witness varying social movements that have occurred during our time in post-secondary, and I think that it's important to acknowledge these because this is something that has also impacted my educational journey, such as during when we started the beginning of the pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement, and then throughout there pushing back against anti-Asian racism throughout the ongoing pandemic, acknowledging the ongoing and recent news of what is occurring due to the impacts of the residential school system and colonialism, and various impacts of climate change such as fires that happened in Lytton, and then heat domes and floods, as well as witnessing the ongoing war that is happening right now in Ukraine. When we look back at these moments, I hope that this will be a reminder for all of us here today that we have the opportunity to influence the spaces around us. Just as much as we have been shaped from our experiences at SFU, now is our opportunity to shape the spaces we occupy with what we have learned inside and outside the classroom. My experience in post-secondary has been such a juxtaposition. SFU has been a place that has given me many opportunities, made connections that have shaped me for who I am and have influenced how I make my way in this world even after I leave. But as an Indigenous person navigating the colonial institution, I've also seen the ways in which I have also faced barriers. And this has also opened my eyes to the ways in which, where I've noticed that there needs to be more support in our communities, especially within SFU or other institutions for our marginalized community members. As much as it has been an amazing experience, I kind of want to balance what I have to say by acknowledging the good, but also taking account for the barriers that we have faced. And I think that's important to acknowledge those as well, because that has also shaped us during our time here. And I hope that, and I've seen the ways in which there's so much more to do in regards to reconciliation, institutional racism and oppression, and also white supremacy. This is something that I hope SFU will continue to work into in regards to ensuring safer, equitable, and supportive spaces, since these institutions were not intended for someone like myself. As many other folks in our BIPOC and marginalized community members, I say this because it's important to leave these places better than we found it, And I know that many of us have done our part so the next generations can come and build off our accomplishments. And now it is our turn to make those same changes in the places around us as we move on in our next journey. I want to especially acknowledge the Black, Indigenous, students of color, and international students who have faced various barriers in these spaces. You have pushed through everything in order to be here today, and your presence is essential in order to making these spaces especially better in our academic institutions, not only for you, but for our communities. To the class of 2022, take your experiences, memories, sacrifice, and accomplishments to do work in a good way with an open heart and an open mind to create the equitable spaces that you want to see in the world and work to make the places better than you left it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthew Provost. And I do want to say, Matthew, that you have left this university in a better way than you found it. And I pledge to you to keep the work going, so thank you very, very much. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and request that you confer them the degrees for which they are now recommended.
Thank you, Madam President. This is the formal part. Get ready for the big cheer and applause afterwards. By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Congratulations. Please be seated.
The members of the graduating class here in Convocation Mall will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, a few requests to those of you in the mall today. Family and friends, we welcome you to applaud, cheer, and share the joy you have for the graduate as they cross the stage. But as a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. Today is a day for celebration. Graduates, after you've crossed the stage, I'm going to invite the doctoral graduates to join their colleagues on the platform, and to all other honored graduates, please return to your seats. Now, the moment we have been waiting for, the degrees in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented. Madam Chancellor, I invite the Associate Dean, Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Dr. Roxanne Panchazzi, to begin the presentation of those who have earned graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented. I invite Dr. Sean Swigerman, Associate Dean, Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, to join us.
Dr. Alexander Gerhard Walter Bayer, supervised by Dr. Stephen Weldon. Dr. Dennis Doga, supervised by Dr. James Basumtwi Sam.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented.
Barbara Dzidzornu Adagblenia. Carolina Almeida Coutinho. Daria Berezhnova. Diana Lucia Cardenas Pinzon. Ryan Churchill. Alessandra Corno. Kate Varga Hadwin. Marina Konina. Nikita Marie Larangera. Victoria Megan Mayan. Hanan Abdulamir Yusuf Mohammed Ali. Ali Salimi. Cornell Turdianu. Hannah Raquel Flostrand. Thomas Coe Gerard. Alan Randall Jones. Matea Kulik. Andrea Kathleen LeVay. Marina Bernadette McNeil. Jennifer Lee Moss. Keith David Shapland.
Sylvia Traffin.
Sally Jane Agard.
Madam Chancellor, I invite the Associate Dean, Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, Dr. Sean Swagerman, to begin the presentation of students earning undergraduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of the bachelor's degree in the Faculty of the Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented.
Sally Jane Agard. Mary Lorraine Abad. Salwa Ahmed Abdirahman. Hania Nasir Ahmad. Tamkin Abdul Jalil Ahmadi. Madeline Angelique Alvarez. Patricia Marie Filomeno Alvarez. Natasha Arazina. Yasmin Ley Hernandez Asia. Pearson James Atzma. Aman Kaur Aujla. Reese Nell Avila. Arlene Core Baines. Olivia Rietta Barkley. Griffin Mason Barrett. Jamie Lucas Barrett Leonard. Clayton Leo Bennett. Annie Elizabeth Blundell. Sophia Georgina Bonato. Nathaniel Milan Boole. Hannah Elizabeth Boulanger. Ruxar Brar. Remy June Brayshaw. Eleni Maria Budd. Aaron Peter Kafflish. Mackie Alexis Cairns. Patrick Basil Stewart Canning. Neri Denise Carriere. Reynold Janish Chaudhry. Karina Chauhan. Zachariah Alexander Code. Brianna Joanne Condolenios. Abigail Nicole Contreras. Kenneth James Coplin. Shaylin Bell Corwin. Alexis Danielson. Aliyah Datu. Nicole DeWood. Sarah Megumi Darasp. Avneet Kaur Da. Rajveer Raveen Dhaliwal. Sarpreet Kaur Dillon. Tan Lan Din. Joshua Jurgen Faber. Spencer Harold Fair. Kayla Lauren Farabakjian. Lucas Patrick Lyle Falks. Samaya Fadei. Haley Rain Futrell. Benedict Segundo Gascon. Asmate Gebremichael. Via Dolatina Genzen. Lindsay Janine Gilbert. Abhijit Kaur Gill. Caitlin Melissa Gorman. Vanessa Catherine Gottfriedson. Jordan Anthony Groh. Davin Joaquin Gwinjikna. Anthony Hablack.
Lima Halimi.
Muhammad Saad Haq. Jeffrey William Hodgson. Carmen Hui. Emma Rosa Indasil. Diris Malika Ishete. Montana Raquel Taylor Jacko Reynolds. Shou Yi Ji. Melanie Chandini Lisa Jitt. Isadora Pozan Komar. Pramveer Kuner.
Megan Emily Konecki.
Pramveer Kuner. Katalin Krajinovich. Brendan David Nichols Kravik. Justice Gabriel Kremler. Sevgi Kuruoglu. Jared Stephen Cutney. Angela Lally. Pui Yin Lam. Stephanie Tsin Wai Lam. Sarah Yuen Wen Law. Celia Mary Elizabeth Law Utley. Ha Young Lee.
Lee Jack.
Sung Ju Lee. Michael Miller Lenko. Fung Yim Oscar Lee. Yu Chen Lim. Emily Laura Lindsay. Micah Chun Young Ling. Ta Jung Liu. Brendan Tyler Lowry. Lindsay Ann Stone Macklin. Hannah Mail. Nahima Rachel Malyabuana. Swaranjit Kaur Man. Andrea Caitlin Marr.
Nicely done. Congratulations.
Bradley William Marsh.
Well done. Congratulations.
Mackenzie Jane Matthews. Parnian Mazari. Irina Marie McDonald. Emily Marie McElwain.
Well done. All the best to you.
Anastasia Mendelia.
Congratulations. All the best.
Emma Lynn Miles.
Well done. Congratulations.
Jennifer Michelle Misera.
Well done. Congratulations to you.
Abigail Emma Mitro.
Congratulations. All the best.
Elizabeth Mariko Miyanaga.
All the best to you. Congratulations.
Amina Mohammed.
Congratulations to you. All the best.
Marcus Montero.
Congrats. All the best.
Tia Lane Mortimer.
Hi there. Well done. Congratulations.
Suravi Mrigadat.
Tia, well done. Congratulations.
Anais Sahel Nabi.
Congratulations.
Kiranjot Kaur Nahal.
Anais, congratulations to you. Well done.
Nolan Austin Nelson.
Nicely done. Congratulations.
Christoph Namath.
Congratulations to you.
Calder Sinclair Newson.
Christoph, congratulations.
Jamel Noor.
Congratulations.
Chelsea Josephine Wan Fui Yan.
All the best.
Carl Brian Ocampo.
Congratulations.
Dennis Lando Oluwach.
Congratulations to you.
Zachary James Arabco.
All the best. Congratulations to you.
Jasmine Kaur Padam.
Well done, Zachary.
Jung Wong Peng.
Jasmine, well done. Congratulations.
Jin Ho Park. Sion Park.
Hi, Gino. Nicely done. Congrats.
Sean Michael Perry.
Well done. Congratulations.
Miranda Pinter Collett. Elizabeth Ann Plant. Nicholas Colin Plaxon. Simran Kaur Puni. Jessica Ann Prefontaine. Matthew Garrett Provost. Lori Marie Jean Clemente Purificacion. Stefan Radovich. Faith Golda Elizabeth Ratke. Rabia Fatima Bibi Rahim. Purochista Ramati. Parveen Kaur Rai. Dasari Rangana Randunu. Vanila Ravichandran. Christian Paul Riolina. Sierra Maureen Reed. Thais Ribeiro Batista. Liam Antoine Dragon Richer. Elena Rianova. Rebecca Lucille Rodenbush. Daniela Alejandra Roman Torres. Kalida Maria Sackville West. Neelam Sahota. Randeep Singh Sahota. Selena Sahota. Courtney Jean Marie Savoy. Randall Warren Schatz. Julie Renee Seal. Palvi Parmad Sehijpal. Shweta Parmad Sehijpal. Susanna Egliceria Serrano Brenton. Gunrit Kaur Sethi. Karen Sharma. Akumjot Kaur Sidhu. Navneet Sidhu. Hayden Dale Sittler. Juliet Lauren Smith Hollingsworth. Ashley Smith. Amelia Renee Smith.
Elena Soros.
Willem Beck Midzane Stastny. Margot Janet Stevenson. Kelsey Strom. Rebecca Joy Stuve. Chuk Lam Alvin Tang. Alejandra Margarita Telez España. Laura Lee Thompson. Ryan Joseph Tremblay. Rebecca Jane Celeste Trudell. Yaro Tiffany Tsai. Lisa Kakaraba Twania. Vanessa Stephanie Tufts. Maria Angelica Peralejo Valdez. Laud Vidal. Riva Caitlin Volk. Keiko Mary Waite. Sahar Walker.
Katrina Vivian Cuthbert Weber.
Shannon Eileen Wielden. Lyle Joseph Whitfield. Olivia Jessie Willett. Jared Richard Wong. Shu Ting Wu. Xiao Hua Wu. Da In Yu. Yun Zhang. Anna Anezo Georgopoulos. Wen Chen Yang.
Madam Chancellor, the students who have completed the requirements for diplomas and certificates in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented.
Aaliyah Riley Boobird. Lorraine Lynn Tamasta. Jayasurya Anirudh Tatikonda.
Will the graduating class please rise if you are able? I am so honored that you're here today, and I congratulate each of you. The completion of a degree is an impressive achievement, and I encourage your friends and family to communicate their hearty congratulations to you by whatever means. For those of you online and in the mall and members of the platform, please join me in applauding the June 2022 graduates. Fantastic looking class, I have to say. Now I invite you, the members of the graduating class, to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, faculty and staff, and all those who have helped you reach this goal.
Please be seated. It's just great to hear all of those applause and that level of support for all of your hard work. Congratulations again. Friends, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some graduates recommended by Senate for degrees today are unable to be present here in Convocation Mall, and their names, therefore, have not been read out. I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program. Before we depart, I have several thank yous to express. First, to all of you here and online, a profound thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to have you present with us today. And of course, an event like this, as flawlessly as it was executed, could not have occurred without the countless volunteer hours of so many faculty, staff, and student volunteers. I'd like you to join me in giving them our hearty thanks of appreciation for organizing this event. Thank you. Honored graduates, family, and friends, you're now invited to attend your faculty and alumni celebration reception up near the AQ Pond. We look forward to continuing to celebrate with you there. This brings to a close the formal part of this morning's convocation. Please rise if you are able and remain standing at your places as the platform party behind me recesses and wait for further instruction from the head usher. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, graduates, thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning.
Congratulations once again to today's graduates. Our ceremony has now come to a close. For the safety of all in attendance and to reduce crowding, we will exit Convocation Mall beginning with the graduates at the front of the mall and our guests seated at the back of the mall, followed